Hi, my dear students. Welcome to another episode of Science Guru. Today, we are doing something different. We are going to discuss Cbse Class 9 Science, Chapter 13. Why do we fall ill? This is an interesting chapter. So, before moving to the chapter, if you haven't subscribed Science Guru, please subscribe and enable the bell icon. Also, share with your friends. By the end of the chapter, you will be able to understand more about health and its failure, diseases and its causes, infectious diseases. So let's begin the class. Whenever I take classes about human body, I always use the term complex machine. Yes, our body is a complex machine and it can be compared to a car. We know that a car has many parts like tires, doors, steering, seats, body, etc. Each part has its own functions. If one of the parts is not working properly, it will affect the entire performance of the car. Same like that, our body is also made up of many parts or organs like heart, kidney, lungs, liver, etc. and each has its own functions. Same like a car, if an organ is not working properly or stops working, it will affect us very badly. Now, let's have a look on the structural organization of human body. We know that cells are the basic units of organisms. A group of cells together forms tissues. A group of similar tissues form organs. Organs that perform a specific function together form organ systems, and different organ system makes an organism. We have different organ systems in our body. Respiratory system, circulatory system, nervous system, digestive system, etc. are some of them. So, if any organ or any part of our body is not working properly, we may fall ill. In other words, anything that prevents proper functioning of cells and tissues will lead to a lack of proper activity of the body. Now we are going to the first topic, health and its failure. The first subtopic coming under this is the significance of health. So let us discuss the significance of health. Wealth is lost, something is lost. Health is lost, everything is lost. This is a famous quote which means health is important than wealth. Another quote which we use commonly is health is wealth. The word health is being used in many situations. Two such cases we are going to discuss. Case 1, a man saying about his grandmother, "My grandmother's health is not good." Second case, a teacher scolds a student and says, "This is not a healthy attitude." So here, the word health is used in two different situations. So, what does the word health mean? If we think about it, we can realize that it always implies the idea of being well. We can think of this well being as effective functioning. So, this being well means effective functioning. In the first case of the grandmother, going out of the house, visiting neighbors is being well, and not being able to do can be termed as poor health. But in the second case, being interested in following the teaching in the classroom so that we can understand the class is called a healthy attitude, while not being interested is called the opposite. So, we can say that health is a state of being well enough to function well physically, mentally, and socially. I repeat, we can say that the health is a state of being well enough to function well physically, mentally, and socially. Now we are moving to the second subtopic, personal and community issues both matter for health. We just stated that health means a state of physical, mental, and social well being. So, it cannot be achieved entirely on our own. The health of all organisms will depend on the surroundings or the environment. The environment includes the physical environment also. For example, our health is at risk in a cyclone or a flood in many ways. And this can be said as the physical state of health. Human beings are not isolated. We live in societies, so our social environment is an important factor in our individual health. We live in villages, towns, or cities. In such places, even our physical environment is decided by our social environment, and this can be said as social state of health. Let's take a case that no agency is collecting the garbage from public garbage bins and no one takes responsibility for clearing the drains. What would happen? If these two cases happen, the possibility of poor health increases. So, it's clear that public cleanliness is important in individual health. I repeat, public cleanliness is important in individual health. We know that we need food to be healthy, and this food has to be earned by doing work. So, the opportunity to do work has to be available. That is also an important point. The main important thing is public cleanliness is important in individual health, and the second important point is the opportunity to do work has to be available. We need to be happy in order to be healthier. We cannot be happy if we mistreat each other or afraid of each other. We cannot be happy or healthy if the situation is like that. So, social equality and harmony are necessary for individual health. That's the third point. Social equality and harmony are necessary for individual health. Our mind should be also in a good condition to be healthy. Now we are moving to the third subtopic, distinctions between healthy and disease free. I hope now you understood that the personal and community issues both matter for health. So now we just discussed what we mean by the word health. Now, what do you mean by the word disease? Actually, the word itself gives the meaning. We can think it as disturbed ease. I repeat, disturbed ease. Disease, in other words, literally means being uncomfortable. When we can find a specific and particular cause for discomfort, we start talking about disease. I repeat, when we can find a specific and particular cause for discomfort, we start talking about disease. This does not mean that we have to know the absolute final cause of the disease. For example, we can say that someone is suffering from diarrhea, without knowing the exact reason of the loose motions. We can say that that person is suffering from diarrhea, but we don't know what is the exact reason behind that. Now we can easily see that it is possible to be in poor health without actually suffering from a particular disease. Take the grandmother's case. She doesn't have any disease, but her health is poor. Same like that, not being diseased is not same as being healthy. If a person doesn't have any disease, it doesn't mean that he is healthy. So for better understanding, let's take two more cases. Good health for a dancer may mean being able to stretch his body into difficult but graceful positions. Another case, good health for a flutist may mean having enough breathing capacity in his lungs to control the notes from his flute. So, it is clear that we can be in poor health without getting infected by an identifiable disease. I hope that's clear. We can be in poor health without get infected by an identifiable disease. So the word health and disease means something different. They are not the same. So because of this reason, when we think about health, we think about societies and communities. On the other hand, when we think about disease, we think about individual sufferers. Listen carefully that particular sentence. When we think about health, we think about societies and communities. On the other hand, when we think about disease or a particular disease, we think about the individual sufferers. Students, now we are going to discuss the topic prevention of transmission of diseases by maintaining sanitation and hygiene. So before moving to the topic, we have to look the definitions of hygiene and sanitation. Hygiene. The conditions or practices conducive to maintaining health and preventing disease, especially through cleanliness, is called hygiene. The conditions or practices conducive to maintaining health and preventing disease, especially through cleanliness, is called hygiene. What is sanitation? It refers to public health conditions related to clean drinking water and adequate treatment and disposal of human excreta and sewage. I'll read it one more time. It refers to public health conditions related to clean drinking water and adequate treatment and disposal of human excreta and sewage. So we are back to the topic. Here you can see a diagram, and we are going to discuss how we can prevent the transmission of diseases by maintaining sanitation and hygiene. We can see that 5 arrows are moving from fecal matter. So how we can prevent the disease which can caused by the fecal matter, and by 5 different ways. All the 5 ways starts with the letter F. They are fluids, fingers, flies, fields, and flood. So transmission of diseases happens by these 5 ways, and we are going to check how we can prevent it by using these two methods, that sanitation and hygiene. So the first one, fluids. We can protect the water source, and that's a part of hygiene, and treat and store water safely, that comes under sanitation. Second one, fingers. Wash hands before preparing and taking food, that comes under hygiene, and wash hands after defecation is under sanitation. Third one, flies. Cover the food, it comes under the part of hygiene, and control flies, that comes under sanitation. Fourth one, fields. Clean vegetables and fruits before use, that comes under hygiene part. Avoid open defecation, it comes under the part of sanitation. The last one, floods. proper drainage system. If you maintain a proper drainage system, that comes under the part of hygiene, and treatment of water comes under the part of sanitation. So, by maintaining sanitation and hygiene, diseases which can be caused from fecal matter can be avoided, or we can prevent that, and that makes a person healthy, or it makes a person healthy without causing any disease caused by this fecal matter. So, by this topic, we are winding up today's class, and remaining portions will be taught on coming episodes. So, study well, prepare notes along with that. So, happy learning.